Okay then, welcome to another review on my channel. This is the WASDN DBAL A2, and before we get this video started, I will warn you that Minty's in the room with me today. My little green soldier, a little parrot, so you might see some beeping and some cheeping. I'll do my best to filter out the loud stuff, but he's chilling out with me today because he wants to. Now, to jump straight into our review, the WASDN DBAL A2, I'm hopefully saying that right. I'm sure if I haven't, somebody will correct me in the comments section. This was a gift that I was bought for me by my wife for Christmas this year, and was also featured in my recommended Christmas gift guide video. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to jump right in and look at what comes in the box. Okay then, so inside the box, not only do you get the unit here, the torch and laser unit, you also get a pressure pad. I wouldn't recommend using it. I think it's a bit cumbersome. I always find that wires are hard to do. Again, people have more luck than me in the comments of using these, but I personally just mount it so I can actually use the button on the device itself. It's just a little bit easier. Then when I'm not using it on a regular basis, there's not something in the way on my gun, or I'm having to put tape down or this, that or the other, or using extra mounting points, which can be a bit hard on certain AEGs or gas blowback rifles. It's just hard to mount everything. So the button is great on it. You also get some kind of other mounting points and some Velcro parts in here. Not sure why they send you with this. I've actually yet to find out what it's for, but the Allen keys are used for different parts of the device. Last of all, you get some stickers. Because they can't ship it with some of the stickers on due to, I'm guessing, copyright reasons or something like that, or they just ship a generic sheet because you've got the red, green and blue laser options. They give it to you on a sheet of paper like this. I've not personally stuck any on because I don't really see the point. Awesome. Other than that, nice little box. And that is pretty much it. Now, there is an optional mounting thing that you can stick on the top of your aiming device, should I say, on the top of the unit as well. That also comes in the box. You do have to attach it yourself. Now, we'll shoot on over now to look at some of the features. Okay then, so we're now looking at the features of this unit. Now the first thing to talk about is what's at the top and at the front. You have visible light, battery compartment, non-visible, so this is an IR laser, and then a visible laser or a pointer. Okay, both of these have covers to protect them when not in use, so for airsoft usage it's going to minimise the risk of you shattering these over time. So when you're using them, you can take the caps off. When you're not, you can leave the caps on. If you play 99.9% of your games outside and 1% inside, you can rock this unit on your riff and not have to worry about smashing the lenses out from daily usage, and obviously sticking it, undoing it all to use it inside on the rare occasion you do need that illumination in the dark. Now, front mounted battery compartment means that you can remove the battery without having to remove it from your rifle or whatever you're attaching it to. This means you can keep your zero, use the CR123A battery. On the top and sides, you have your adjustments to zero in your light and lasers. Top is down and up, side is left and right. And you also have an aiming device in the centre of this unit, which is optional for you to put on. I don't know how useful this is, I don't know how accurate it is, but I suppose if you're mounting this side on your rifle, you're running in a magnified optic on the top, you could turn it sideways and use this as a close-up aim point. I don't know how useful that's going to be, but I'm sure it has its uses. Then you have your activation button or fire button here, and on the back you have your modes as well as the plug for the pressure point or pressure pad on the side. Your settings on the left hand side are how the unit operates, so what the buttons do, what the button on top or the pressure pad does, and on your right hand side this dial here controls what actually comes out of the box. So if you turn it all the way to your left, this is the on with one press, you can see the laser there, off with another. You then have momentary power, which is hold and it's on, let go, it turns back off again, and an off section. We then go over to the IR light, the regular illumination light, as you can see there. And then you have the strobe version, so you can have it strobing for the sites that allow that. And then the one that we're probably all going to use the least as airsofters is the IR pointer, which you won't see even though it's on, because it uses infrared light or IR light, which is going to get picked up by night vision but not get picked up by the human eye. That's the box as a whole though. It is a Picatinny rail mount, as well as a quick release mount at that. Once you get this thing set up, it is pretty awesome. Now then, we'll go over onto my opinion of it after running it for 1 or 2 games in an inside setting. Now, I'm going to probably be rating this in the mid-range as far as a kind of a light laser box works, or PEC box, whatever you want to call it, because I found there's 1 or 2 things I don't like about it, 1 or 2 things I do. So first thing I do like is that it's easy to zero and has so many controls. It's very clear and very obvious. Some units don't have this kind of ability to kind of change or make adjustments on the fly. Sometimes they require tools, or sometimes you have to take the actual unit apart or take covers off. This is all exposed. I also love the fact that there is caps to cover it when not in use, and the fact you can replace the battery without removing it from the gun. Not really had much use of the aiming device on the top, but I do like the placement of the fire button, as most of these have it right in the center, whereas actually as a left-handed person, the way I've mounted this, the actual it being mounted at the bottom here as my front hand wraps around, actually makes it very easy for me to activate. Things that I would say let it down is that it's very high off of the rail compared to some other aiming devices. Some aiming devices have the Picatinny mount almost kind of recessed in a little bit, so that you only have the actual rail mount here exposed, but you've got kind of like a pinky finger's width of space higher up on the rail than it needs to be, which does mean that this sits fairly high, especially on an M-LOK or key mod rail, because you've got the rail section that you've stuck onto your key mod or your Picatinny, and this getting slapped on top of that. However, if you're looking for that high ride aesthetic, and you're mounting it with other mounting solutions, so you want it high off of the device, which I've seen a lot of people do, and it is kind of perfect for you. For me, aesthetically, I think it just sits a little bit higher than I want it to. So I'm actually going to be buying a 45-degree angled mount, so it basically attaches to the top and the side of my gun like this, kind of angled, or angled like this if you will. So I can get a little bit more use out of this, and it kind of looks a little bit less clunky at the front. What I will also say is this is compatible with WASDN's pressure plates, aftermarket pressure plates, so you've got a lot of ones that attach via a Picatinny rail or have dual controls on them, so you can control one of these and then a more high powered torch. I would say that also works in this favour as well, so there's a whole ecosystem of WASDN products that all work and complement each other. I would probably give this a 4 out of 5 stars in that kind of regard, just because I wish it sat a little bit low on the rail, but again, somebody might give this 5 out of 5 because that meets their aesthetics. It just didn't meet mine, so personally I give it a 4 out of 5. Is it worth the money? I don't know, because I was bought this as a gift. I'll put the price up that I can find it for the cheapest online on the screen towards the beginning of the video for you, and I can always flash it up again here. But because this was a mix amongst lots of presents, I can't imagine that this was hundreds and hundreds of pounds, probably in the kind of £50 to £70 range, I think, off the top of my head for these. So I think this probably is going to be worth it for most of you out there. If you've got any questions about it, kind of anything like that, please let me know. I don't know the run time currently off of a single battery, because I've been using it now. I've used it for 2 games. 2 game days, so I don't know the exact runtime at the moment, but I would hazard a guess you're going to have a fair amount of time using this before the battery runs out. All I would say is maybe make sure to switch it to the off position once you're finished using it, because I don't know if there's going to be any power drain that's happening if you leave it on one of the even though it's not activated, if you leave it on one of the power conditions on the side here on the left. On that note, like I said, if you've got any questions, curiosities, please leave it in the comments section. If you found this video useful and it's kind of led you to make a decision on whether you want to buy one of these and add it to your airsoft, or like I said, I believe these are real. These are good enough to put on real steel as well. I don't know how viable they would be. Again, I don't own one, but yeah, feel free to subscribe if you want to as well. Otherwise, we're going to be doing a few more reviews in the near future, as well as more on our upgrade series for our Heretic Lab to MTW conversions. We're taking an Article 1 and turning it into an MTW, and we're going to be doing more on our Scrap Heat project, as I'm now going to rename it, for the Spectre Arms AEG I have, which is a total pile of poo, and we're going to try and make it into a not pile of poo. Otherwise, hope you guys enjoyed that, and we'll see you in the next one.